Hello, James here, and welcome to the James Tip. Today, I want to talk to you about storage on your computer. I know, as soon as you hear the word storage, the first thing that happens in the old head is, it is the bane of your existence. You're thinking thumb drives, you're thinking hard drives, you're thinking the hard drive on your computer, you're thinking of any number of ways to store your stuff. Maybe you've decided to go the Google route. Maybe you've decided to use external drives. Maybe you're not doing anything yet and you're courting disaster, waiting to lose things. I want to share with you what I do. And I have a two-pronged approach to my storage. And this is kind of cool because I have storage that I use with Google, and I actually pay to have some extra storage in Google. And I use Dropbox. And I use both of them for different things. For Google, I predominantly have my photos for easy access and easy indexing so that I can go across what I'm doing and find things very simply. Not that Dropbox doesn't offer a similar service. In fact, I do back up some of my photos to Dropbox as well. But Google on my phone just makes it really easy to access those documents. For the bulk of my materials though, and I do a lot of recording and I might use my videos like you're seeing now, or things that I'm doing for the university, for school, for my classes, I'm using Dropbox. And why I like Dropbox is, first of all, it's easy. And all I do is on my desktop, I manage to put a folder, and it's very easy. You create a Dropbox folder, and everything that I dump into that folder will sync up to Dropbox in the cloud. So this is kind of nice because I can have a nice index of everything that I want to store in Dropbox. But what also becomes really interesting about having Dropbox on my desktop is you have the option of indicating, do I want to have that file that's indexed in my Dropbox folder on my desktop? Do I want to have it indexed local, which means there's a copy of it on my computer and a copy of it in the cloud? Or do I just want to have it in the cloud? This to me is a huge bonus because I can see all of my files in an easy to get to way through this folder, and I can pick and choose which ones I want to have in the cloud or resting locally as well. By having that option, I get to free up a whole bunch of space. And that to me is huge value, because if you're like me and you're using audio files and you're using some photos and then you're creating some different items, whether it be visuals, you start sucking up a whole bunch of space on your computer and on your drive, and it slows it down. But even worse, you're likely to have at some point in your user experience in the next year a catastrophic failure of your storage on your device. It gets stolen, it gets dropped, it just breaks for some reason, power surge, all sorts of reasons for your storage to disintegrate and you lose everything. So, I mean, lesson number one, especially for students, make sure that you have good quality backups of your materials. So for me, I'm using Dropbox. Now, there's a second reason I like the Dropbox feature. 2 terabytes, it's gigabytes. 2 terabytes of storage for reasonable cost. Go check it out online, dropbox.com. You can see the various options. I'm actually at the point where I think I'm going to move up to a third option to get 3 terabytes of storage, but it's worth it. I love the fact that I can share these folders in Dropbox and I can share that content that way, which opens up an interesting challenge. Now, let's say that you've given someone editorial rights to a folder full of content, and that folder of content is in Dropbox. So you're sharing the Dropbox folder. You've got access to it. The person who shared it with you has access to it. And if you have editorial rights, you can delete from that folder. I recently had a situation where I went into my Dropbox folder and I'm going, what's going on? A whole bunch of material wasn't there. And I'm thinking, whoa, what's going on? Did I forget to download it? No, because I remember downloading it because I deleted it from the source site. What happened to all my stuff? And then I remember I was seeing little warnings coming up saying, oh, file couldn't download, files being downloaded, files being deleted. And I was going, I wonder, what is this talking about? And I didn't put two and two together. I know I was a little slow off the draw. I didn't put two and two together until I realized, hold on, I've shared this folder. And possibly the person I shared the folder with didn't realize that we actually had a shared folder. They were deleting things off that folder, probably because it was on their desktop, deleting things to free up space, not realizing that you can have it a cloud storage only or local and cloud. And so here I am sitting looking at my Dropbox folder. It's missing some significant files that I need. And I'm thinking, oh, what do I do? Well, third reason I love Dropbox is not only because I can have local and cloud storage, not only because I can share stuff, but third, depending on which service you're using, you can get 30 to 60 day to 180 day recovery of things that have been deleted. So what did I do in this case? I went to my Dropbox folder on my desk. You can see it here. If it's living on your computer, it's got a nice little green check. If it's living in the cloud, it's got a cloud on it. I went to online. I went to deleted files. And when you click on your deleted files folder, it gives you a look at all the files that have been deleted, and it tells you when those files were dated. If you've got deleted files that you didn't want to delete and you remember it within 30 days, typically we remember pretty early, right? You can go tick it and restore it back to your folder. At that moment, when 17 files that I needed, over 10 gigabytes of data, were gone, and I'm starting to sweat, when I realized that I could get them back, at that exact moment, I said, every dollar I spend for this service is worth it. Look, you need to be thinking in terms of where you can store your materials and where you can get access to it. The fourth thing that I love about using Dropbox is I can access it through an app on my phone. So suddenly, not only can I get it on my computer, not only can I store it in the cloud and access it there, both on the website and through a folder on my computer, I can also access it on my phone, so I can access it remotely. Is there a cost tied to using Dropbox? Absolutely. Are there even more features such as vaulting things and signature and sharing a file? Yes, there's all sorts of great features. I encourage you to go take a look at it. My purpose here is just to talk to you, and was really to talk to you very quickly about having backups of your stuff and places that you can back it up. As I said, there are many options out there. Go take a look. I use a combination of Google Drive and Dropbox. I pay for them both. I think it's money well spent. Go and do the research. Go and take a look. But I'll tell you, as a user, and I've been a user of these online facilities, online storage facilities, cloud storage for many years, I've never had a problem with nefarious issues. I've never had an issue with someone trying to hack into it. Everything's always been there. I've always been rewarded by being able to find my content and share it through the Dropbox link. I think it's simply a great tool, and as we do more and more work online, you need to have access to your materials. For me, Dropbox and Google Drive are the way to go. And as you can see, Dropbox is probably my go-to for most of my materials. So back your stuff up, check out cloud storage. I highly, highly recommend Dropbox. That is a tip from James.